This is a divine masculine energy that's coming through on the divine journey. Someone who's been described as almost devoid of emotion. The truth is, this is someone who's become, or who had become so numb from the trauma that they'd experienced. Okay, so they cycled through, I'm hearing karmic loops from across lifetimes, passed down from generations also. Okay. I always talk about how, I have mentioned before, that with masculine energies, they can have so many things that have a hold on them, and they go through a lot of destruction. However, it's so important to remember that it is their decisions that they are making in their physical waking reality that are determining what's happening. It's so easy to automatically place assumptions that it's easier feminine energies, they're more associated with that emotion, right? So they can process through that emotion, and they have this beautiful connection to divine to do so, right? But the truth is, when you're on the divine journey, the kind of emotion that the divine feminine has to go through, she feels all of it. When the divine masculine is, I think this is something that's becoming more of a realization for this energy that's coming through divine masculine, when they're making those choices, the karmic choices or whatever it is, and divine feminine, she feels all of it. And at this point, from what I'm getting, the divine masculine should really have understood that. Otherwise, then they've not understood it for a while. Oh my god, first card, the Emperor. Yeah, this is someone who is, I don't know why I'm shocked. This is what was coming through, okay? This is someone who's finally understanding of some things. But like I said, this decision maker, action taker, is what makes all the difference on this journey. The divine feminine will clear through energetically, emotionally. I mean, truly, everything divine masculine goes through, she feels it. And by now, you should know that, right? The moon, exactly what I'm saying. The depths of emotion. I think someone's finding balance with, oh my god, the Empress at the bottom. Yeah, someone's finding I think that they're literally been plunged into the emotions of this. You have to understand there are waves within this, waves of emotion that you go through as you heal each other. And sometimes, there's this energy where you really start to feel like, oh, it's your person's that's making you feel like this. They're making all these decisions, they're doing all these things, or their absence or whatever they've brought out in you that already existed in you, right? And the truth is, when you're feeling like this, it's often their presence that comes to you, not in your eyes open, physical human eyes open, but when you're in that meditative state or sleep or whatever, not sleep, between wake and sleep, right? They'll come to you and they'll come with such loving energy because they're helping you to heal whatever it is that's beneath the surface. Okay, and I feel like this is fire. Oh my god, fire. This is something that the divine masculine is really waking up to. I think they've avoided it for so long. Again, they became so numb to what they've been going through, but it was for them to face it, right? It's not even because of the union and their divine feminine, but because of their purpose on earth. The reason they're here, their divine purpose, they're lovers. So they can finally access this heart space and not be drowning in the emotion that is all beneath the surface. They're learning how to swim, is what I've just heard there, which is nice. Wolves could be significant here, okay. And 333. They're learning how to make better decisions, okay. I think this is someone who's definitely at a space where they are making better decisions, or they're going to be. I think they're trying to understand so much. Even me coming with this energy, I'm trying to hear it, see it, feel it. But it's this that's holding them back, this Page of Cups. It's like this idealized, it's like, look at that, 10 of Cups. They fantasize about this, and the 4 of Wands. They fantasize about this a lot. This union, this togetherness. It could be very romantic, idealized kind of energies going on here, okay, but it's very different to this kind of fairy tale energy to what the reality of it is, because the reality of this sacred love is raw. You're here for, like I said, a divine purpose. You're here to step up into that person for much wider purpose, and this is something the divine feminine will feel. Didn't see that one there. Oh, feel and see. right? Because she has that. And the thing with the divine feminine, she sees a vision head. She sees it. And I feel like this is a divine feminine energy connected to divine masculine who truly has reached those points where she's like, you know what, it doesn't even matter. She's kind of detached from the labels and the names and everything. She's surrendered to the journey, but in such a way that she's even saying, you know, at this point, whoever is supposed to be in my alignment. And it's like I feel a resistance in saying that. So it's like she knows that she wants this sacred union, of course, because let's be honest, you want to get it right in this lifetime, really, for purposes higher than just, oh, okay, Ten of Pentacles was wanting to stick out there. Yeah, look at this. There's way too much of this that is being, that's just stopping someone from moving forwards with that heart energy, right? That kind of loving energy, yeah. But this is what someone's finally clearing through, okay, the divine masculine energy. Look at this, wanting to get into that state where they are taking those actions and alchemize. This could be someone who has a really potent kind of manifestation skills, right? So they're able to really connect to their if they could find their focus and their alignment, they can connect to their divine purpose in such a way that they can really bring it, like ground it down in reality. So and this is something they've not been very good at so far. Okay, I've heard they're doing the inner work specifically. But I'm hearing something about the damage done. They're clearing through the damage done. They're facing it. They have to take accountability, especially, you know, if there's somebody who they think, oh, their divine feminine is better off without them, or, you know, they can, instead of becoming the person that you're supposed to be, that's just like divine masculines go through destruction. But what's coming through, I'm going to say it, is like there's been this like self-pity, like self-victimization mentality, and it's like, but it's just because they've been so swimming in their traumas for so long, and it's just like they're constantly, you know, cycling through this headspace where it's just like they're putting themselves down instead of just stepping up and saying, no, I'm matching this energy and I have it within me to do so. And they haven't seen that so far. This is what they fantasize about, you know, and it's like, it's not about you this is someone who self-sabotages, self-destruction. Look at the emotional baggage they've carried. I mean, the heaviness, the weight, and it's almost like the weight that they truly didn't even need to carry. I say that, you know, there's obviously karmic clearing, but what I'm saying is, it's kind of like they've sat on it for too long, if you know what I mean. Look at this. Again, time and time again, there's been these beautiful, let's come out with the Eight of Wands as well. Time and time again, there's been beautiful opportunities from divine saying, are you ready yet? Are you ready yet, right? And it's not about, you know, rushing anyone. Everyone has their process. So important to remember that it's divine timing, right? And that is divine timing is when you are ready. When you are saying, okay, I'm going to choose me. I'm going to choose my divine self, right? Again, it's not perfection. It's about your intention, right? And like I say, divine feminine can feel you when you're cycling through your karmic energy, right? She literally is transmuting and purging that through her system with you. Two of Pentacles. This is an imbalance. Let's come out with the Three of Swords. That's the imbalance. The pain that has kept someone back from jumping for joy, from allowing their heart to sing, yeah, from allowing their soul to say, I'm hearing like a big yes to what this is. And again, not even like the union, but like their purpose, who they are, divine, masculine. Look at that. This is a very, like, I feel like this is someone, you know, naturally, divine masculine energy is success driven, you know, they want to achieve, that's their orientation, like their achievement, right? They're finally finding a secure ground, and it's come after a lot of digging, okay? Someone who could have the spotlight on them. Well, you know, I just got a message that they want to put the spotlight on someone specifically, or they're watching somebody. Oh, Emperor's at the bottom. Okay, so this is kind of what's helping them to understand their purpose as well. They're seeing things in a new way. So what they want to create, the success they want to move to, looks very different than what it has been in the past and what they've been trying to water, you know, which has just had a lot of heaviness, baggage. I think they've been a bit of a people pleaser, and I'm getting here their mother could have been an influence, or just like a significant feminine energy. I'm getting here, this is somebody who truly has been watering their own heart after a really heavy period, right? But I think that they've almost forgotten the they had at some point forgotten like the passion that was available to them, that existed within them. Okay, yes, death portal, death and rebirth. They're ready to, this is someone who's very much preparing to move forward. They're transforming so they can finally see things from a more divine, and not that inner child, but more of that kind of divine masculine energy, right? So it's not just like this romanticized ideal version of whatever this fairy tale is in their mind, or they've been taught to believe it should be, but instead actually facing all of this. I'm seeing sleepless nights sometimes, you know. They've had a lot of stress and anxiety on their table, and it's not just been their own, it's been different things. I think they might have a lot of different responsibilities that they juggle with, that to the point where they haven't even been able to face their own pain, and it's been so internalized. Like, I don't even think they've known how to handle it in any way. Look at these, there've been so many external energies. I think there's been a specific external energy as well. Again, there's a reason that's coming through about, you know, divine feminines can feel your karmic choices. Okay, of course, the divine feminine is you're meant to focus on you. You're meant to call that energy back to you. You're meant to recognize where this is drawing out of you anything that feels so out of alignment, that anything that makes you feel anything less than this beautiful kind of in your light, in your passion, in your truth, right? Glowing energy. That's what your divine masculine will help you to see, right? You won't feel like he's helping at the time. Okay, look at this. Come out with the Emperor as well. The Hierophant. This is higher level. This gets me so happy because the way this energy was coming through, like divine masculine has awoken. Love that. But it's not come easy, and it doesn't. Awakenings don't come easy. It's quite the opposite. You know, there's been an ending to whatever this connection was that somebody had with, you know, these other energies. Do you want it to come through? Anything that was there from a younger age, I feel like they might have kept something around that just had kept going through ending after ending or something. Ace of Cups with the that was literally the High Priestess under there. Oh my god, the Emperor and the Empress and the High Priestess and the Hierophant. If she comes out, wow, that's like major divine pairing energies. Okay, okay, so there's this, I've heard fertile new ground. Okay, there's something about this. Someone really wants to invest. Specifically heard that word for a reason. So it's like emotional investment, but there's also something about financial investment. So it might be that somebody wants to kind of create a home or solidify something with this divine feminine. Okay, their emotions beneath the surface, they want to clear through these now. Okay, look at this. For too long, I told you, self-sabotage. For too long, this has literally been somebody avoiding their 7/7 emotions, avoiding what was going to bring them their heart's desires. They've instead, they've felt like it was a heavy weight. I don't think they've understood their emotions. Their feelings for this Empress, they certainly hadn't understood. But that's because they were just, I think that they were very heavily focused on, I'm hearing kind of not their soul path specifically, but it's all part of their soul journey, right? Their divine journey. Hanged Man, finally there's transition. There's been a lot of like, I think someone's just been holding on to this, I just keep hearing fantasy, truly. And now they're understanding that it's time to, if you want this happiness, this joy, this like liberation, you know, it's time to transition. It's time to say, okay, no, it's not about being perfect and everything's cleared from the past, but it's about saying, okay, these are the scars and the wounds that you will carry moving forwards, and it's time to be honest about them. It's time to recognize that actually love is healing. Yeah, love. Connecting to your heart space. The accessing that love that you have for yourself, right? And for all those you're here to help as well, which will unfold as you understand how to process it and move forwards as well, okay? Someone hasn't been able to process emotions very well, okay? 4 of Cups there, and then the 6 of Cups. So someone's definitely reflecting a lot here on what it is that they want to move forwards with. I do feel like there could be some kind of a communication, or just, I'm hearing like an incoming message specifically. But again, this could be something coming to them that they're going to have. It happened. It happened. The High Priestess came out. Oh my god. Wow. And the Queen of Cups, this is very intuitive energy they want to move towards, like very, very tapped in. So if this is a powerful divine feminine energy, do you know that you divine masculine are very powerful too? I just want to say. Oh my god, this is giving major power couple vibes, like beautiful. Emperor and the Empress, the Hierophant and the High Priestess. You guys have a serious mission here. Wow, that's really beautiful. And it's like, that's the, like, I'm hearing like the promise, right? It all comes with this release. Releasing the heartbreak, the mental ache, the agony of the heart and the mind is what's coming through here. And I think this is why there's been such imbalance. And I think that the divine feminine has felt this imbalance. Okay, it's important to remember that because it's being kind of mirrored and reflected again, the sun at the bottom. Okay, so it feels like, okay, so this is what someone wants to do. They want to come through with an offer, but they're also very aware, whilst they're in retreat mode over here, healing that heart space, understanding it better. Air energy, King of Swords there. Okay, they're understanding their approach needs to have some form of logic in it, in that it's not just like this illusionary, can't back up the offer that I want to come through with, right? So they're understanding that it can't just be words and, you know, just like nice messages, but actually how are you acting? Yeah, I do feel like this is someone who's clearing through their headspace a lot, but it's also someone who needs to ground their heart into their physical, right? So they understand that, no, this is what you're here for. This is what you're being called to now. The divine feminine energy here has become very, very like warrior strength, right? She's had to, the way she's delved into emotions, and that's okay, but she has the capacity within her to really connect to emotion of the entire world in such a way that is so unique, right? Divine feminine, that's part of her power. Okay, as well as being so intuitively led, which this one really is. Like, it's really beautiful. She herself could practice and think along those lines. Okay, divine masculine truly really is right now releasing the pain. I can just see it. They've got so much regret here. They're thinking about what could have been. And that's the illusion that they're finally thinking, okay, I need to close this out so I can finally put, create into reality the re-emergence of what it is that I desire, but in my physical reality, right? Trusting the, I think right now they are trusting the divine unfold. But I also feel like they're beginning to understand the actions they need to take, which is so important, because I keep saying it's the decisions that you keep cycling in, or the decisions that keep being presented to you. But don't forget, you know, sometimes it's like whatever does come up that prevents you from taking that action, it's showing you where there's still healing to be done. Yeah, it's not about, yeah, look, separation. Separation, it's about trusting that whatever's happening during the separations is happening in order for you to, for the revelations to come through, for you to say, oh, that's what's stopping me from being in my alignment, from really moving towards my purpose. Why am I just stuck here and not doing anything about it? Oh, that's why. Yeah, instead of just getting so caught up in the emotion. It can be so easy to feel the pain of it, you know, of the emotion when you feel each other, you assign it to each other, when in fact you're just being each other's mirror to see what's happening really beneath the surface. Yeah, you don't meant to stay there. You meant to say, hold on a second. That's where the logical approach could be coming in right now. Someone, instead of like getting lost in emotion and the pain, my God, you guys, right after separation, reconciliation, it's coming. And I feel like it's very soon. That wanted to come out as well. I'm not going to take it. You are lovable. You deserve love. Okay. And this is what they're understanding. I think that before they've been so lost in emotion, they couldn't handle it, that that's why it felt like they were like numb to it, or void to it. But the thing is, they were just unable to kind of hold the capacity. It's like when you're in that like headspace, you just can't take anymore. You don't know what to do. It feels like you're going to lose your mind, truly. You're going to snap. That's it. They realise that's when they cut themselves off from their emotions and cycle through whatever it was that was distracting them. You know? And it makes sense, because this is someone who's found it very difficult to handle those. However, they're getting better at handling those. They're recognising the patterns. That's how this is what's helping them to see how to clear through this instead of getting stuck in it, which is so important. So they're also seeing from a more, it's like they're stepping back and seeing the patterns of this, right? And I think that's something the Divine Feminine has mastered. I say mastered, but she's really, she's highly attuned to it now, much more than she was before. Yes, look at this. They're freeing themselves. You're both freeing yourselves, taking back control of your life. Unicorn could be interesting, because I did see a unicorn in the clouds earlier. Oh my God, and having said that, that's clouds, and that is a unicorn. So that's interesting. So that's really powerful messages for somebody that's coming through here. Okay. I don't think it's a unicorn. I think it's those carousel thing. Anyway. Yeah, okay. So there's something coming through. Oh, I honestly was better very soon. And this is what just came out. Okay, so there's something coming through very soon, okay? Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. This is such a powerful message. You two are so powerful. I love this. I literally love this. For you, and it's not come easy. That's why I love it, because you have... And I think Divine Masculine is finally at a point where he can step back and see what's within him. Like, this is who he's supposed to be. Like, oh my God, right? Finally, there's some ounce of, like, believing in himself by freeing himself from whatever was just, again, that Seven of Swords energy, you know? He had to put himself first, he felt like, all the time, you know, when it came to love, because of what he went through. But now it's like, hold on a second, trusting. New love cycle very soon. Oh my gosh, it's like there's a restirring of emotion, and there's not like running away from it anymore, you know. And this is helping the Divine Feminine. Remember, she's leading in that energetic emotional space, which suggests exactly what it says here on the card. She's ready, like she has been paying attention, she has been putting in the work. Talk about resilient energy. Truly express your love, and to hold such emotional capacity at the same time. This is like such elevated, like, Divine Feminine energy. Like, wow, she's in her glow. She knows her intuition. I feel like she's in that stage where, what I was saying before, she's like, well, what's happening? Like, I've been doing this. What am I doing next? But she needs to focus on her purpose. There are people around her who need her, kids, children, family, you know, anyone who is put onto her path. You're here for a reason, Divine Feminine. Connect with Mother Earth as well, massively. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. There are going to be expressions of, as I told you, this feels like there's some kind of incoming communication. Here, I'm hearing letter for some reason. Playfulness. Oh, playfulness. So maybe that's like the vibe of the, you know, someone's going to get a bit creative with how they can connect. But just be so mindful that it's not just like, it's not too lighthearted, because sometimes that can just, you can just spiral off. And yeah, look at that. You can start thinking it's unrequited love, or someone does think it's unrequited love, so they're going to come through with that energy. Don't be vulnerable. Be honest with your emotion. Don't be led by that, or just put up the shield of passion as, you know, as your armor, and make the effort. This is worth making the effort for. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. You're being guided right now, Divine Masculine, and the best thing you can do is, this is another thing, when you're taking decisions, it's time to start saying, hold on a second, connect with the divine and ask, is this the decision I need to be making? Ask for the signs. Passion, I said that. Calling in your person. Oh, I just got a message. I think this could be someone who, when they're feeling that passion, or when they're, you know, with themselves, and that passionate energy is coming over them, they're thinking about that person. And you know, I think this might be someone who maybe they like to manifest in certain ways, you know, things like that. Honeymoon, I'm getting, again, a lot of sexual energy could be coming through, okay? So just be mindful of how this is being led moving forwards, okay? Don't forget, Divine Masculine, you're meant to be guiding, leading this in the physical, right? Divine Feminine is not going to just accept, you know, being treated anything less than she's deserved, and you know this. That's why you haven't come forwards as far, right? What do you need to release? I think it's just tendencies of self-destruction. That's what I'm hearing. Self-sabotage. You know, whatever, suddenly the wall that comes up when you're suddenly feeling so much more like empowered to move towards your Divine Feminine. What is it? It's telling you something. It's not even to do with her, it's to do with what's happening within you. That still needs to be cleared. Luck is on your side. Why are you not believing this? Why are you not believing that? Luck is on your side. The energy is gaining momentum. Okay? It's not about false hope, or, you know, holding on to expectation. It's about saying, you know what? I am doing what I'm guided to do, and what happens next is exactly going to be what we need. The answers you need are coming. The answers are coming. I think there's such a lack of communication here. It's not even funny. I think both your minds and hearts have been all over the place. You know, prior to this, whatever this is happening, this grounding that's clearly been taking space beautifully. A new start is coming. Yes, it is. I was just going to say, how that happens depends on what actions you are taking, the decisions you are making. Adjustments are required. And you know, these adjustments aren't just to do with this connection. It's to do with someone's lifestyle and the decisions that they've been taking generally, especially when it comes to something to do with business, is really coming through here. This is a Divine Masculine energy who is sitting with their heartbreak, if you will, but what they don't realise is this time they're actually healing through it while they're doing this, while they're taking that time out by themselves, or whatever it is that they're doing to really reflect on this now. They just need to not get caught in their headspace. So important. A new romantic cycle begins. Communication is key. this communication that's coming in, by the way, which is a big yes from the divine masculine energy, especially with that sun card, like this like bold energy, it could lead to something really beautiful here. Truly, it's just about I think vulnerability without kind of like with boundaries, right? So understand, knowing where you feel comfortable. If it feels like it's too much out of your comfort zone, you have to be honest with each other. You have to say, you know what, I really want to speak with you about this. I really want to do this, but this is how I'm feeling so far. Like, this is, you know what I mean? And then you can be honest, like, okay, that it's just going to be a lot of kind of, I think there's going to be a lot of backwards and forwards at the beginning in order to really understand yourselves, where you are at now, what you haven't become able to understand throughout this separation. Which also a big another message coming through, you need to trust the separation that has happened for a reason, and that it happened in divine timing. Now there's divine timing moving forwards for the reconciliation, which came out straight after separation. Then you got the new very soon card, so it's not far. Like, this is really, you know, really powerful message, this is. And there's just this energy of needing to hold faith, and in your communication style, okay, instead of like the guards, and the guards can come up, you know, but be honest about that with yourself and with each other. There's something really, I think that you both really want to make the effort here towards moving forwards now. Okay, Emperor, Empress, High Priestess, Hierophant, this is like higher level energy. The transformational power that this connection, this love has had for this divine masculine is unmatched, truly. For the divine feminine too, but there's just this message just coming through is like an absolute a true rebirth of self, mind and heart. This is not someone who's the same as when you knew them before. Okay, trust me when I say there's power in this energy, and you're both beginning to kind of step into that alignment within your power, which is what you can do to bring this connection together and really truly fulfill this purpose, because there's something here that you're both here to do, truly. Okay, let me know if this message was for you. Sending love.